only 84. So I'm not as old or as wise as Ross. My speech will talk about something I learned just a few weeks ago. Allow me at the outset to state that my message today, it is time for us in the corporate world to start getting rid of our pork barrel. Pork barrel? Yes. Corporate social responsibility, unless we are more thoughtful about it, is nothing more than corporate pork barrel. Let me explain. No one, least of all me, will deny that many good things that CSR has done in many years since we started calling corporate philanthropy. CSR. Given our country's need, there's always a big role for the private sector to step up and fill the gap. There are, for example, many companies, including our own broadcast group, whose CSR activities have made a difference. Saglit Kapamilya, for instance, has been heroic in reaching out to help victims of natural calamities in places that are hard to reach, even in the best of times. The problem with CSR in a country like ours is that it is never enough. We're not even scratching the surface of our massive problems. With half of our population of 100 million living in dire poverty, every peso doled out as traditional charity or philanthropy or CSR is quickly absorbed like a drop of water in a parched land. Our problem is how to make sure that we're doing matters and is susceptible and with enough scale. The easiest part of CSR is writing the check and smiling before the cameras as we turn it over to a beneficiary. But unless we're able to make a difference, we would have failed despite our best intentions. I realize we approach CSR today the way we do because we have not given it much thought. One benefit of being retired is the time I have to think about a lot of things. How to do a more meaningful CSR is one of the things I've been thinking about. We are mistaken to think that we have done our part by merely committing a percentage of revenue to CSR. That makes us feel good and perhaps even a little self-righteous, but shallow. Well, my friends, there's nothing more than the practice of corporate pork barrel. We're no better than some politicians who doles out scholarships, medical aid, and even lunch money to the throng of needy people that line up outside his house each day, so they may go away. This dole-out mentality has created among us a vicious cycle of dependency, one that disempowers many of our fellow Filipinos and continues to do so. At some point, we need to let go of giving out fish and instead teach others how to fish for themselves. To go beyond the pork barrel, we need to do a lot more. I've always taken the position that CSR, to be truly meaningful, must be fully integrated in the company's operation. We ought to think that social entrepreneurs are always wondering how we can integrate our money-making activities with our social obligation. It comes naturally to me because social responsibility in this sense is one of the Lopez corporate values. If the value of social responsibility is ingrained in a corporation, there may even be no need for foundations as we know them. Some ways are quite obvious, and integrating livelihood activities of a community or several communities to our supply chain. A food manufacturing company can do contract growing of everything from chickens and pigs to coffee beans and cassava, by helping farmers gain better technology to improve yield and then assuring them a ready market. We become a part of their lives and they become part of ours. And this culture of interdependency, not dependency, is what we ought to be teaching our students. We need to empower them so that they too can empower others and be productive contributors to society. In the field of education, we are always complaining about how difficult it is to find qualified people to hire. We complain about how our schools, colleges, and universities have failed to teach the skills we need and that would make them students employable. But what we have done beyond the usual whining year in and year out? I realize that the corporation's main mission is still to run a profitable business. But wouldn't we be more profitable if we help improve the education of our future employees so that we don't only produce more graduates, but also qualified ones? A good example of how a corporation has invested time, money, and effort in the field of education comes to mind. I had the occasion to meet the super energetic and persuasive country head of IBM Philippines. She is Mariel Almeida Winhofer, a Filipino who studied at Assumption like my own daughters. She went to college in the US and worked for IBM for many years. Her last assignment before she was sent to head IBM's Philippine operation was as a special assistant to the now retired IBM CEO, Sam Palmisano, and Chairman Lou Gerstner. Upon returning to Manila, Mariel noticed the big potential of Filipinos in the field of analytics and how IBM can help create value, adding jobs in the hot area of big data or business analytics. She had this bold idea of making the Philippines as a global center for smarter analytics. According to Mariel, the Philippines can capture a good part of the estimated $212 billion global market opportunity for analytics. This is an emerging discipline, and Mariel feels if we move with the right strategy and speed, as we did in BPO, it is possible to bring at least 200,000 analytics jobs to the Philippines in the next 5 years. But that's not possible without the trained manpower skilled in the handling of big data. So Mariel went to the Commission on Higher Education. It didn't take long for her to convince CHED Chair Dr. Patricia Licuana to share this vision and to make it a reality. Mariel's leveraged the resources of IBM worldwide. She brought in IBM experts and signed up local professionals to craft a curriculum that college students can take. become analytics professionals. With the curriculum done, Dr. Liquanan issued a memorandum order that incorporated analytics in the undergraduate curricula for business and IT. By 2015, we will start having some Filipino graduates ready to take on the industry requirements for analytics. We have thus become the first country to declare analytics as a profession. Among the schools that adopted the CHED curriculum for analytics include UP, Ateneo, LaSalle, Asian Institute of Management, and Asian Pacific College. Knowing that IBM couldn't do this alone, Mariel organized some of the country's top corporations to share the dream. Thus, ABS-CBN, BPI, Meralco, Shell, SM, IMI, and PLDT are part of a private sector consortium committed to see the dream of making the Philippines a world center for analytics happen. These top companies will help by providing the opportunity for the first graduates of the analytics course to spread their wings. That's integrating CSR into operations. That is only one example. But an awesome one, because it clearly demonstrates how an iconic multinational, because of the social entrepreneurship of its local country head, integrated CSR into their business model. It is a win-win situation for IBM, the country, and our educational system, and our young people. Along the lines of gearing education to the needs of the corporate world, there will always be opportunities to do this version of what IBM did. In implementing the K-12 curriculum, for example, companies can offer internship programs that will use the skills students are learning in the last 2 years of the program. Internship, apprenticeship are nothing new. Dual tech is a concept that has worked well in Europe. Apprenticeship is a good way for companies to integrate their social responsibility with the communities that sustain them. There are always gaps to be filled if a company is inclined to do even more basic CSR in the field of education. There are teachers to be trained, teaching materials to be provided, and even something as mundane as providing a great nutritious breakfast for the pupils who would go on to school hungry because of poverty. We've seen patches of good work here and there because of CSR. Some companies have actually put up model classrooms that have produced exemplary students from among the socially marginalized. Others have given access to education through scholarships and have changed lives for young people in the grip of poverty. A big portion of CSR funds have also been donated to building classrooms, providing desks and chairs and educational material. Our own knowledge channel, for one, has for 15 years been effectively using multimedia technology to help improve learning outcomes. Let me brag about this. In 2 studies conducted by the University of the Philippines, it was found that regular viewing and learning with knowledge channel programs is directly linked to increases in children's interest in learning, comprehension, attendance, completion rates, and achievement scores. Dropout rates in schools with knowledge channel have also lessened. But we also realize that we have to look beyond technology and our multimedia learning resources if we want to truly empower learners to reach out to two of the most important roles in education. First, gatekeepers of learning are teachers, and second, the stewards of learning are educational leaders. Hence, in the year 2013, we started a program entitled Learning Effectively Through Enhanced Pedagogies, or LEAP, where we provide training workshops to teachers on how best to make learning effective. They're trained to ignite a passion for learning among learners, employing teaching strategies that are responsive, creating environments that are conducive, and using multimedia resources that are engaging. Equally important to training teachers is helping education leaders grow as stewards of learning. The Lopez Group Foundation and Knowledge Channel also embarked on a professional development program called Superintendent's Leadership Program. Here, superintendents are trained on social marketing, policy development, transformational leadership, and strategic management so that they can adapt to major changes in the education system, especially with the new K-12 curriculum. With a growing number of around 2,000 teachers and more than 600 educational leaders, we're able to drive an important message across the system that what matters most is to make learning effective. For we've seen that amongst many gaps in education and among the many interventions, the bottom line result that we should all be after is whether or not our students are learning effectively, so much so that when they graduate, they're fully equipped with the necessary competencies that will make qualified candidates for employment. The thing is, we need to do whatever we do in a sustained and programmed basis and with the proper scales. If all we do is paint a few classrooms in a brigada escuela effort or some worthwhile things here and there, we risk having no real impact on the sea of poverty out there. If we continue to think of CSR as dole-outs, or even as occasional rewards, winning projects, we're doing nothing more than corporate pork barrel. That's what politicians do. We in the private corporation sector know we can do better. That is the challenge before us today. We need to have impact on the lives of people we claim to be helping. This CSR Expo is an opportunity to reflect on what we've accomplished for education. Perhaps we can veer away from the usual and consider a different approach this time. One that addresses a critical course that will soon haunt us and leave us asking ourselves why we didn't do something about it when we had the chance. The foundation of a nation rests on its citizenry. We are a young nation, yet a promising one. The only way we can advance from being a third world to a developing country is when we work our way towards realizing the promise of an empowered citizenry. This is not the responsibility of government alone. This too is our business, because we too are a pillar in building the nation. I therefore challenge you to look deep into your own CSR initiatives and see what impact we've really made. Now is your time, now is your chance to build a nation of talents that will truly make us competitive in the world stage. Let us take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you and good afternoon.